Hello, my name is Samya Khanna. I'm currently a senior at Virginia Tech studying computer science, and this is my CS undergrad reflection. Looking back at the coursework that I have done so far, I think data structures and algorithms definitely provided me a great basis for interview processes and, just learning the nitty-gritty stuff of computer science and get me started. Computer architecture was a really difficult topic for me to get started on just because I had no experience before. And towards the end, like the systems course that I'm taking right now, I definitely feel that there's so much information about computer architecture that can be shared with the students. So I think it was definitely useful for us, but it definitely could have been more spread out, because I think the main reason why systems is so hard is just because there's so much information that can be taught to students in such less time. So the professional development courses like sophomore seminar, senior seminar, and professionalism in computing were definitely a very different coursework than our normal ones that were just about coding and studying the theory stuff. So I definitely think that those were very important for us, just because it gave us like a holistic view of computer science as a discipline and also as the RET department. The capstones that I took had two prerequisites for my intro to HCI, and I'm also doing the creative computing capstone. I'll talk more about capstones later, but definitely the best courses that I've taken so far. Advice to younger self. Something I learned the hard way was testing my code while I was coding. So I tested the code definitely, but it was way too into the program where I like realized that I should have started testing way before. Live by the survival guides. So I know this may not be something that is applicable in the real world, but I think asking for advice and asking for help from people who have already been in your shoes is super important. Asking questions early, again, from the people that know this or people who can help you in this. Don't give up easily, just because I know I have given up way too many times in the past 3 years, but I think it takes a lot of perseverance to get past this, and it's definitely not for everybody. So not giving up is definitely the best advice I would give anybody. If I were in charge of changing the CS program, one thing I definitely want to do is adding one mandatory undergrad research or independent study class. It could be 1 to 3 credits, junior, senior years, and also provide the opportunity for students to attend one CS conference. To the right, you can see I attended UISC 2020 with my research lab last year, and it was one of the best experiences I've had so far. Another thing is making general science courses optional, like chemistry, physics, and biology. I think that since we are under the College of Engineering, it is definitely mandatory for other courses just because they might be super relevant for them. And if students in computer science also have capstones that they think about, like bioinformatics or something to do with those sciences, they should definitely take it. But for me, like I took Intro to HCI and an HCI as a capstone. I did not think chemistry or physics would ever help me. So that's definitely one thing I would suggest if I were in charge. Looking forward, my next plans is a software development job. I definitely want to learn everything there is to know in the industry. I am in one of those people that enjoyed researching but don't want to do a MS or PhD. So I still want to do some research while I'm working just because I enjoyed it. Moving on, I'm thinking about a Master of Business Administration. I definitely want to think more about working in tech companies, but in administration. Finance is something that I'm thinking of right now, but definitely that can change. But yeah. They asked us to talk about gaps in education that we've been facing. And I think capstones are a great segue to the corporate world, just because they ask us to do things independently, think independently, and don't have like the steps laid out. So a lot of things that we did, and throughout all the courses that I did, was everything was laid out to me. Like, this is step one, this is step two, and so forth. But I think creating my milestone, presenting progress, working with a team, project with real world applications provided me a whole new perspective about how things should be and how I should be working independently and thinking about these things more on my own and seeing how I want to do this. That's something that I'm looking forward to in my capstones. These two are my posters for the ATI capstone and then the creative computing capstone. Overall reflection, I've had a holistic experience within the Department of Computer Science at Virginia Tech, and I'm super proud of it. I have definitely attended conferences, participated in hackathons, and held leadership positions at the CS clubs at Virginia Tech. I think even though I stayed here only for 3 years, I've covered a lot of things that have helped me professionally and personally to develop to become the person that I am today. And I'm super grateful for that. Well, thank you for watching.